Hello and welcome back to the Glimmer Witch. So first of all, first video for a while, hopefully the start of plenty more to come. And I also need to apologise for the quality of filming on this set. I am using the setup that I would use for my diamond painting videos on YouTube because I am awaiting Christmas to get a new overhead camera mount, which my husband's buying me. So thank you for joining me today. It's been so long and I had to show this little set, although like I said, the quality is a bit crap, but it's a Christmas set and it's a pink Christmas set, but it's pretty basic. I had already done all of the prep and added the tips. I used Tracy Lou's coffin tips for this. They're amazing. I love them. I am also using crystal glass. I did my clear base, and I am using coconut milk and marshmallow, I think, for the pink. I might be wrong on that. Don't hold me to it. It was yesterday. So anyway, we are doing all of the white first. So I've done the white base for the ombre on the little finger. On this ring finger, I'm doing a full white nail. I have not had a lot of practice in the last few months, so I'm very out of practice. Trying to get used to my ratios again. They're a little bit out, and I did do the white on this nail a little bit too thick. It was too watery, so I hadn't dried the acrylic bead out enough. And I just did too much coverage when I didn't need to. But on top of this white nail, I am putting one of Tracy Lou's glitters. So I'm going to wander off and find it. So the colour that I used was Tooth Fairy, not Marshmallow. I used Snow Globe for the snow effect. And the glitters that I used were... I'll put them to one side here somewhere. Oh, the joy of using AirPods to voice over a video. I used Glitz on the white nail, and I use Kendall on the pink nail. Classic Christmas set in pink. So one nail full glitter, one nail with a snowflake on, one nail with full pink glitter and a bit of snow. So I'm just doing the white for my ombre. So I'm not going to go into technical details here because this is not the best set I've done for a long while. You know, it's really difficult getting back into the swing of it. I don't know about you guys, but if you're working nail techs, maybe like me, you work from home and you've literally just been doing family for the last nearly 2 years. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, did the white first, as I always do. I will then go back and do the pink. I love Tooth Fairy to ombre with. Please excuse me, I'm drinking my coffee. I love Tooth Fairy to ombre, do pink and white ombre with, because it's got that little bit of a shimmer, which I find makes it a bit easier to blend. So I have cut bits out of this video just because the angle wasn't great. I'm having to film it from a side angle. Lighting's not great. You know, I need to get this setup sorted out. But I've kept in as much as I could. So I'm sorry, but please bear with me. It will get better. I will get back to what I do best. So on this ring, I'm doing the Tooth Fairy as a background colour because I'm going to be putting Kendall over the top of this. So we decided to go with all pink. As you can see, I'm doing my usual, starting with that bead at the cuticle area and then building it up. But you can see I'm working a tad wet. To be honest, it was making it a little bit more see-through than I wanted it to be. But we got that cover on there. And actually the middle finger and the pointer finger were the best shaped out of them. Like I said, that ring finger, I've done that acrylic a little bit too thick and I didn't need to. I could have used more glitter and got the coverage. So there's a mistake. You know me, honest as the day I was born. Point out my mistakes so you don't make them. So I could have done that now a little bit thinner. So when I'm putting my glitter on, I'm using a tiny bead of clear acrylic. Kendall is a super fine baby pink glitter. It's beautiful. You all know I love my Tracy Lou products. I have left a little bit of filing in, and I've also left a little bit of the nail art in, although again, the angles ain't great, but it's a quick video. It's a bit of content to start back with. I have 2 sets tomorrow. Both of which are usually quite long sets. So I'm hoping I can get this one edited and up so that I've got room to film those 2. So I will try and get a better angle this next time. How have you all been? Are you back working? Are you building nicely? I don't know about you guys, but for it being this close to Christmas, I'm relatively quiet, to be honest. However, I am working with the fact that I'm now in a new area, so I do need to build my clientele back up. And I haven't really been heavily advertising, to be fair. So we'll see how it goes. We've got time. So this white nail, I'm just putting that glitz. It's called glitz. It's a super fine, tiny, iridescent white glitter. It's beautiful. But I wish I'd used less white acrylic and more of the glitter, to be fair. So I had to keep my clear layer very, very thin to try and not add any more bulk. I knew what I'd done wrong. I knew I'd done it wrong. I am using my Tracy Lou size 10 brush. So I have been at work at my receptionist job today, and I do have a set of nails to do at 6 o'clock tonight. However, they are an acrylic overlay, so I'm not going to film those because they're quite short. But it's nice to be back. I just wish it was Christmas already, so I had my overhead mount, because that's going to make all the difference. I got rid of my other camera mount because I started doing YouTube for my diamond painting hobby, and I needed a better setup for that. So I bought one of these ring light come phone holders. Don't waste your money. It was quite cheap, yeah. But I'm working with what I can work with. So you will notice me adding another little bead of white on the tip of that nail. Sometimes I tend to pull ombre down a little bit too far. So a good tip is to go back in at the tip with white and pull it back up. That'll help blend it. Once I'm happy with my blend, I'm then going to cap that blended area with clear acrylic, as you can see, just so we don't file away that beautiful blend. This client is actually my niece, and she'd messaged me the day before just to say, can you do my nails? Is it too early for Christmas? Hell no. I wouldn't wear Christmas nails this early, but they're your nails. If you wanna wear Christmas nails in November, you crack on. I don't have a problem with that. So as you know, I am starting back up, but I'm doing it slowly. I am enjoying my little part-time job. So I don't want to leave there just yet. And I still feel that things are a little unstable. I know things are reopening back up now and we're starting to get a bit more back to normal. But I'm not convinced. I'm not brave enough to quit just yet. So the plans for the summer house are still going on. That will be being built next year. You see, I had way too big a bead of white there, so I've just taken that excess, sorry, can't speak, off the end. Once I'm happy, I'm going to cap it with clear. I think Tooth Fairy has to be one of my favourite pink acrylics, along with magenta, of course, because we all know magenta is just stunning. I'm envisioning that I will have an influx in December of Christmas clients. Hopefully, 1 or 2 new ones. I am tagging my area on Instagram. Shout out to my fellow Instagram nail techs. And because I'm restarting, I'm literally sitting here with a cup of coffee and a cigarette in the hour before my client arrives to get this done and uploaded. So it's a very hastily put together video. Look how much clear acrylic I put on there then. I didn't need all that. Lesson learned. But yes, I'm just cramming in. And look how close in I had to get just to get this angle. So what I did there was I used my brush, a wet brush, just to go over the top of that glitter to make sure it's nice and sparkly. And then I put that bead at the cuticle and I've just let it fall down. Let gravity do its thing. So yeah, just taking the excess off there. And then just using the side of my brush to shape that acrylic. Lovely. Okay, so in with my filing. So I'm using my Tracy Lou 100-180 grit file, starting as always with those side walls and then the free edge. And then when I'm happy, I'm then going to start going across the cuticle area like so. So just pulling that skin back and just gently going around that cuticle area to try and get it as flush as possible. I do need to be working on my cuticle filing. I am very out of practice. So I do need to work on that. I'm not afraid to admit that, you know, my skills have become a little rusty. I mean, can you believe it's like, it'll be 2 years in March since it all happened. It's crazy how long I've been out of touch, but I'm getting back into it slowly but surely. So I'm just using that file to go over the body of that nail and just get it shaped where I need it to be. I am, as always, trying to get that shape as best I can with my brush so that I don't have to file. And I will, of course, once I've finished filing. Apologies for getting in the way of the camera. I will then come in with my buffer just to refine it, just to make sure it's nice and smooth and flat. I believe actually that this is a Tracy Lou buffer as well, because I did order some. Her files were out of stock for quite a while actually, and I think I ordered a pack of buffers when I finally got on there. So again, even on this white bulky nail, sidewalls first, keeping that file dead straight so that I can get that lovely straight line. And once I'm happy with the shaping, I've obviously stopped because we're talking. We had a lot to catch up on, you know. It's always the case with family, isn't it? And I would normally cut those bits out, but I cut enough out. So hence why there isn't a full hand. So my video skills can only get better, right? That's the way I look at it. So my plan is, yes, I do want to return to nails. You know, it is my dream. I love it. I love doing people's nails. I love the feeling you get from giving someone a set of nails that they love. But I think one of the things a lot of us learn from this first lockdown especially, was how fragile our businesses can be. And I couldn't afford to not be working. You know, I was put in a position where I had to get a normal job. So I have started my reinvention plan by changing to a part-time job. So I'm now working same shift pattern, but only 6-hour shifts, which means that I can then do 2 sets of nails on the days that I'm working. That will give me, let's see, that will give me 14, a maximum of 14 sets every 2 weeks. So not a lot, but if I do that on those days that I'm working at my other job, I still get full days off. So the plan is to aim for 5 years. I have a 5-year plan. The summer house will go up next year, early next year, and I then have 5 years to build my skills and my clientele to a point where I can then afford to leave the part-time job I've got and just do the nails. I will be semi-retiring at that point. I don't want to be working more than 3 days a week, which, you know, yes, I'm relatively young, but I don't want to be working I don't want to be working a full-time job when I'm 60. I just don't. So the plan is to have a viable, decent paying, part-time business by the time I'm 55. I think it helps to have a plan. So just trying to file this ring finger as much as possible. I couldn't take too much off because obviously I would cut into that glitter. So you will notice on the other hand, the ring finger is much better. And isn't that a bugger? Isn't it? Because I always have to start with my client's right hand because I do nails the same way that I write or read a book. I start on the little finger and work my way across. And my second hand's always better. I think a lot of us are like that. The second hand always comes out better. But I have to film this hand first because of the angle. Otherwise my hand's in the way. So, yeah, such a long time since I did a decent video that I'd forgotten. So that is the thinking behind restarting. So for the nail art, I bought a set of acrylic paints from Amazon when I first moved into this house. I do have CJP acrylic paints, but I couldn't find my white. So I just used the white acrylic paint from that kit. I think it cost me about £14 off Amazon. So I just used that, and I used a Tracy Lou liner brush. I bought a set of 3 of those. So I did the lines of the snowflake first. I then used a dotting tool to add just dots. Sometimes I will add feathers, as in little lines that look like arrows onto a snowflake, but in this instance I just did the straight lines and then dots. Very simple way to do a snowflake. For the icicle finger, I used my CJP Tiny Touches brush. I used white gel polish, and I then used CJP Snow Globe acrylic powder and dusted that over the top of that gel polish and then cured it to give the snow effect. I would usually top coat first and then do the snow effect. Unfortunately, I did it the wrong way round. I did the snow effect and then realised I had to top coat it. So I again used my Tiny Touches brush, cleaned obviously, and used that with top coat to go between the icicles. So if you decide to recreate this set, please do remember to top coat your icicle finger, the one that's got the full glitter on, first. Yes, you will notice that I am not wearing gloves, okay? This is my niece. I am a very tactile technician. I like to be able to feel the nails for lumps and bumps, and I can't do that with gloves on. So I am super conscious about using hand sanitizers and sprays and everything, because I just cannot work with gloves on. I just can't do it. So no, I'm not. So I apologize, you know, that's the way I do things. Let me please point out that I am not only double vaccinated, I have also had my booster, and I am super conscious at work of making sure that I'm wearing PPE all the time, but I just cannot do nails with my gloves on. So you can see I'm using the dotting tool there just to add strategic dots onto that snowflake. Just a very simple design, but very effective, and always a popular one this time of year. Looks very nice over a very dark navy blue. Sapphire is one of my favourite ones to do it over. It looks beautiful. And that's it. That's all there is to it. A nice, simple set, all acrylic. I do, of course, double top coat that snowflake. So here I'm using the white gel polish. I'm using Halo's white gel polish, and my Tiny Touches brush just to get that paint near that cuticle. Please excuse my hair being in the way. And I'm just painting it down the nail. You know, it's not neat. It doesn't have to be super neat. You just need to have that gel polish flowing down nicely. And then I tend to use, I've got an old makeup brush that I use to dust the glitter. So I literally put the pot underneath. It's not a very good angle, I know, but I'm literally just picking it up with that brush and tapping that acrylic powder over the top, and it's falling back into the pot. You know, waste not, want not. Tap off the excess, cure for 60 seconds. Once that has cured, I then come in with my CJP top gloss, tack-free top gloss. Still my favourite top coat. I have tried the gels from Tracy Lou. I do like her top coat, but I do have quite a few bottles of the CJP one. So on this finger, I've just put that top coat on the bottom part of that now, and I've then got the little Tiny Touches brush, and I'm just going in between those icicles. But like I said, top coat the nail before you do the snow effect. Works much better. And for me, that snow effect always leave as it is. Don't put top coat over the top of it. I have this big thing about not top coating over the top of stones, powder art, or 3D. And that's your finished set. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Bye.